Okay, we are back. Meet me inside.
Yeah, I'm on them. It's giving it enough time to load the criteria. Oh yeah, that's
All right, so here we are. This is the circuit. Let me go ahead and get my laser pointer out here.
yeah, I'm just gonna go into photo mode to properly view this.
Okay, so we've got our doors down here. There's 4 buttons. Okay, so say we were starting on the outside, right? Say this was the outside of your base, going through these doors, right? The big challenge of the circuit is that middle door, because it has to kind of behave differently depending on which direction you're coming from. So if I were outside, I hit this button, it'll open this outside door. We pass through, right? Notice that while that door is open, I can press the button and the inside door won't open. It waits till that door is closed before you're able to open it, like an airlock. Now that that door is closed, this button will operate. Whoops, sorry, one more. I messed it up by pressing it. There we go. So this button should operate anyway. Yep, there we are, the interior door. And passing through here, this button will operate the inner door into the base. So we would be standing into the base here, and then the opposite will happen when we pass through the other direction. Yep, so I figured I would put the alarm and lights, you know, because this is the outer door, right? So you're about to enter the hostile planetary environment. Oops. Did something wrong. There it is. There we go.
That is really cool.
Okay.
The only question I have is about keeping the outside door open.
In the middle chamber, because that's where you'll be using the portal, right? So you're talking about this chamber right here that I'm standing in. This is the one that we would need for it to stay open. Okay, I can make a little change to the logic that will keep this door open. Like once this door closes, I can just have this door, you know, probably open.
Do you think a well-placed proximity device is the best way of doing it, so it shuts when you leave?
Maybe. I could probably use a proximity device just to keep open. I'll have to take another bash at the logic for this outer door. But for the most part, things are working like intended. So here's basically how the circuit works. If you want to come up here, I'll show you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off to reset it. Okay, so these are toggle circuits for each of the doors. Each door has a toggle circuit associated with it. That's controlling the door, and so when these receive a signal, they open the door, which you already know. The signal is coming from these buttons here, but because the buttons have to do different things when they are, depending on which direction you're going through the doors, there's a circuit here to kind of tell the doors where you are in the process, like which doors have been activated so far and which doors haven't been activated so far. And that's this block of of circuits right up here. These each of these sets of three represents a different combination of the doors being open or closed, and then these sets down here are little toggles that toggle on or off depending on whether a door has been previously opened or has not been previously opened. I had to use this separate toggle for this because I couldn't use these since the doors are all supposed to automatically close on a timer, and I needed to remember what door had been opened regardless of whether or not it was currently closed. So these circuits read the status of these switches here, and depending on the different combinations, they route power a different route through the circuit. So as you can see here, I've opened up the outer door, so that's triggered this bottom row. So the power is now traveling down this path, which is telling the inner door switches which door they're supposed to activate next. Using a little logic gate right down there. So if I were to hit the other, like watch here, like when I hit the next button, so it's jumped up, it's rerouting power a different direction now, so each of these circuits is doing different stuff. And
process makes sense when you explain it, but there's no way I can recreate that or fully even understand how it's working. I'm impressed, the fact that you've created a system that knows what states multiple objects are in and how to behave when they're in different states is crazy.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun because I was able to incorporate some stuff I'd done on previous projects. Like I have this binary counter that is basically like a score counter. It just keeps track of things in binary. So I needed to translate the binary into numbers that the average person can understand. So that's how I invented this sort of array of circuits right here, because I needed to have them do a different thing depending on which combination of lights were lit in my binary counter. And so that kind of is what this evolved from. And then up here is a timer circuit that is telling the doors to open or close. But the trick for this part was that I wanted to use one timer circuit to sort of save parts and to be more efficient. But that meant that I had to differentiate for the timer circuit. It needed to only actually send a signal to the doors that were presently open. So any door that was currently open will be closed, but it won't send a signal to the doors that are presently closed because that would open them. So I needed to set up this little these little logic circuits here, which receive a signal from the door toggle, and they reroute power depending on whether or not that door toggle is presently activated, because that means that the door would currently be open. So it only sends signal to the doors that are currently open. So if all of these doors were open, then it would close all of the doors. But because only one door opens at a time, it'll only close the one door that's open at a time. So that was fun to work out. And
that's why you hands down the best logic used. No one else is putting together stuff like this. No one.
I've seen some pretty good stuff. Like there's a guy in Japan who does some pretty amazing logic work. But for the most part, people just want to figure out how to open a door automatically with a proximity switch. But there's just so much fun stuff you can do, and it's really fun for me to work it all out. I think the thing that makes me different than a lot of logic users is that I tend to provide plain English explanations for what I'm doing and kind of like take them through the various steps of what's actually happening in the circuit, because I want people to be able to understand why it's doing what it's doing, because that will allow them to improve their logic builds by improvising on what they learn on my channel. So the goal for me is...
I think there's no way to progress if you're not understanding exactly how the circuits are achieving what they are.
Yeah, so rather than just do like, oh, this is a NOT gate and an AND gate, you know, I try not to use that sort of technical language, and instead just provide an explanation of why each individual part in the circuit is doing what it's doing, and why I needed it to do that. So that they can have a better understanding at the end of the day of what's happening. And the only other part I think I need to mention is that I needed to have these buttons at the bottom. They're only able to activate when all the doors are closed. So there's a little bit down here, right here. This cuts power to all the buttons when one of the doors is open. That way you can only open the next door when the previous door is completely closed. So it has a short little timer to give it a delay so that the door has time to close, and then it reactivates all of the power to the buttons so that they can send signal. And
there's a really clever solution to that problem as well. Just making it simply so the other switches can't activate if one of the other ones doesn't.
yeah.
It's a really clean solution to that problem.
Yeah, you know, I usually start out with a much more complicated solution, and then things get sort of winnowed down to the simplest possible circuit. I try to make it as simple as possible because it saves more parts, and I also get satisfaction out of getting the same functionality out of a simpler design. So it tickles that puzzle part of my brain. So when we install in your base, it's going to be a tight fit to get a lot of the stuff into the display case. I can definitely fit this part in it, and then on the back I can probably do, you know, this part up here. I'll probably put these door toggles in the subfloor underneath your base. And then it's just a matter of running all these wires to the right place in a whole different arrangement. So basically I'm going to screenshot this and sort of use it as a guide. And then as I progress in building in your base, I'm going to go ahead and you know, document everything, and then at the end you should have a pretty good idea of how everything works, so that you can modify it later to fit whatever needs you have or new needs that might arise in the future.
Yeah, that would be great. And further on that point, in regards to doing some of the circuitry in the underground space of the base, what I'd recommend is that we don't install it anywhere near the airlock, if that's possible. I mean, like it can be close to the airlock, but not actually touching the airlock features, just because I fear that might be the only part of the building that will ever change in the future. And if that changed, that would be purely to fix the problem of the base not showing up when it touches the portal. It's possible that I'll shift it back like 10 feet or something, so that the airlock might change in that way.
Okay.
If we keep all the circuits just away from the airlock, then the wires running, then that should stop that from being an issue if I ever do make that move.
Okay, that sounds good. I can keep that well away from the actual airlock. I can, you know, I can put it wherever.
Yeah, because none of the rest of the base is going to change. That I'm sure of.
So, I guess what we could do now is, I guess, go back to your base and start putting some of this stuff in.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, hopefully we have an easier time getting to your base than we had getting to mine. All right, why don't...
Go too close that, then we'll be okay.
Okay, alright, so you head over there first, and then I'll use the anomaly trick to get there rather than try and teleport there, because I seem to have better luck that way.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, thanks. Alright, I'm walking now.
Okay.
Okay, I've gone through.
Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and head up to the anomaly, and then I will meet you there. Okay, so hopping into my ship, it's not giving me the option to change systems, so that's fun. No, no.
Then it was pretty straightforward. We're still in a group though, so that is surprising.
Okay, there it is. It just gave it to me at a different point in the process than it usually does for some reason. Alright. Yeah, well, you know, I love this game enough to overlook a few extremely irritating bugs. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, I started playing Minecraft in alpha, and so it was, yeah, so it was, you know, I'm used to watching games develop as I play them, so, you know, I had a lot more patience for No Man's Sky than a lot of people seem to. You know, like I was a day one player. I bought it the day it came out, and I thought it was pretty good even at the start. You know, not totally unflawed, but you know, it was a pretty interesting experience, and I you know, knew that a lot of the pieces that seemed a little unfinished would eventually be finished in update patches and stuff like that. So, you know, I didn't freak out like everybody else seemed to.
No. I think once I got over the initial disappointment, which was entirely created by my own completely unintended expectations, I found a lot of love for that game.
Yeah. Yeah, and I put tons of hours into it to launch 2, and then when Pathfinder came out, I was all about Pathfinder. Okay, I'm not seeing. Pathfinder is the one that added Exocraft, and it added changed planet generation, and so the Pathfinder planets had a lot of charm.
Little did we know that 7 years later they'd still be updating the game.
Yeah, and a lot of people really missed that Pathfinder too. So a lot of these updates, especially the worlds, have been trying to sort of recapture some of that Pathfinder charm. Because some of the most unique planets I remember ever finding were in Pathfinder. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's kind of the way games ought to be. I mean, I would pay for expansions if, you know, if they charged for them, but you know, I like that they've been free, and I hate it when, you know, games are a, you know, a service. I like paying for stuff once.
Me too. But I'm not sure quite how they managed to keep afloat for 8 years without monetizing them until these real products. But it was the best that they had.
Okay, I'm headed to your planet, but you're not showing up on my radar for some reason. Maybe it's just because I've got HUD disabled.
Yeah, I think it is, because I can see you in atmosphere.
Okay. There we are. Waiting for the terrain to load in so I can land. Maybe I'll just land here. Okay, I'm gonna land somewhere else and then walk over.
I think to give it half a chance to actually go, you know.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, still can't land. I'm gonna try flying away and flying back to see if that helps things out. Gonna do a nice slow approach. Might be because I can see all three of your bases at once.
Well, I think that shouldn't be the problem because they're all three different accounts.
Right, but I'm well, because I'm rendering three of them at once, though, maybe.
When you fly up to the arena base, that's the one that's just closest to my
yeah.
loading, has that fully loaded in?
I can see it. Let's see. Looks pretty loaded. Maybe I can land here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the difficulties are related to the I've built up with the problem.
Nope, still can't land. Alright. I'm gonna... okay. Alright, so I'm trying to fly away and see if I can land, you know, and then just do a little hike or ride one of my animals over there. So far, no, though.
So at the arena building, that not let you use any of the landing pads there?
Well, they were showing up green on approach, but pressing the landing button doesn't do anything.
one thing that might help you is flying to the closest planet and landing on that, and then flying back. I found that helped my alternative characters.
All right. I'll try that. Okay, well, I've landed on a neighboring planet. I'm going to take off again and head back over there. See if that helped. Okay, so I'm approaching now. I'm going to try and land some distance away, and then I'll ride my robot horse. Okay, I've successfully landed. Summoning in my robot horse. He should be able to zip up and down these mountains. Where are you? Okay. I think they must have nerfed the speed on the robot horses. Yeah. These guys used to be unreasonably fast. Still the best way to get up and over mountains, though. You know, it says that, I don't believe it. Of course, I have clipped it to a mountain, and I think I'm in a cave. Oh, now I'm floating through the terrain. Okay, now I'm back on. Now I'm back on top of the mountain. Okay, I can see the base from here. So the hilarious thing would be if I fell to my death right now and had to respawn.
I wouldn't be surprised if quite had to see going. This guy's playing a giant sandworm helping by you as well.
Ah, crap. Fell into a cave. Not what I want to do.
Good news is you're only 500 units.
500 units straight down. $342 units.
Progress is progress.
Okay, I'm within view of the base. The portal has actually loaded in this time. Cool. All right. I'm here. Yeah. Oh, really? You haven't seen the robot horses? Wow, yeah, you should find yourself one of those because they are more useful than Exocraft.
That's no difficult. Exocraft are so useless.
They're just incredibly fast, and the way that they climb mountains is just ridiculous. Okay. All right. So first things first, let's see if I can actually edit stuff at your base. So have you opened up the build permission and stuff?
Yeah, should be good to go.
Okay, let's find out. Yep. Full access to the build menu. Perfect. Not everything's loaded in yet, like your switches and stuff. So let me give it a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to use the building camera for the base. Someone taught me how to extend the base building camera view. That's been one of the greatest tools I've ever been given.
What do you mean by extend the base camera view?
So you know when you're in the sort of climbing camera,
Uh-huh.
and if you go too far, you get that sort of globe effect showing you can't move it any further.
Right.
If you double click L3, and you do it quick enough, just resets the camera position and you can keep moving. You can effectively do that like 5 or 6 times before it resets you, which gives you much greater working flexibility doing a big project.
Really interesting. Let's try that out. Okay, so zooming out. And then I've hit the globe and then double click L2. Is that what you said?
L3.
Oh, okay. That's amazing.
It makes such a big difference on a big project.
Wow. Yeah. That is really cool. It still hasn't loaded in any of your components like switches and decals and stuff. Oh, now frame rates are dropping.
this guy and see if it's just one. What I might do is I might fly off and then fly back and see if that helps load back in. Because I feel like if you do speed it, we might not see you again.
That has been the way things have been going, huh?
I wonder if it's because I've got the other clone of Jesus. Rusty Hatfield and Labyrinth. I wonder if that's. I'll run to the other room and turn my Xbox off. Okay, I killed one of the clones of Jesus.
Okay. Okay, your decals have popped in. But not your switches yet. Things are coming in, just kind of, you know, slowly.
Yeah, I almost feel like 3,000 parts in it is a bad idea to implement on their behalf. They actually can't handle it.
Well, it might also be the fact that I'm on a PlayStation 4.
That's true, that's true.
Okay, I'm seeing your components pop in like one at a time. So the proximity detector above the door just appeared. Another one of your decals has appeared. So I think if we're just patient, all of these parts will come back.
Once it's fully loaded as well, if you use my save station, I have a very strong feeling that that helps store a tricky base.
Okay. I'll wait for things to pop in and then I will give that a shot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not 100% sure if it's true, but like I've been testing it out while building with the other clones of Jesus's, and I seem to be getting more positive results when I'm doing it that way. So I think there might be something to it. Obviously, like, the preference is not to actually, no worries, but you might find switching to creative mode in the options makes building a bit easier. Teleport back if you've got things without resources and everything like that, so that all the crossing you.
Oh, right. That's true. Speaking of which, let's make sure. Do you happen to have any paraffinium you could send my way? Oh, you've got a golden vector. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't earn it though. I traded for it. Unfortunately, it wasn't around when that was an option.
I regret not going after one of these, to be honest. It's just like...
Man, if you want one, I will absolutely give you one.
Oh, really? That would be amazing.
Yeah, man. This work that you've done at my base, so I'll absolutely give you a golden vector.
That would be cool. I don't even know how to trade ships. I mean, I guess we just meet up in game and then you abandon one and then I hop in and claim it, something like that?
Yeah, trading ports are the best place to do it, because if anything goes wrong, then you just have to stay at the trading port for a few minutes. And if you watch an NPC fly golden vector back.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's a really good way of giving yourself a squadron of golden vectors. Apparently there's a bug with the squadron mechanic where you can't fire your current squadron, so but I do want a squadron of golden vectors.
Oh, that would be fun. That'd be so funny.
I think it's probably the best ship to fly that I've ever had. Like the movability of it is just perfect. It's kind of ruined every other ship I've got because they all feel a bit sluggish now.
Yeah, when the golden vector came out, I was all like, you know, everybody's got a golden vector. These aren't all that special, so I didn't go after one. But now, as time has gone on, fewer and fewer people comparatively have golden vectors. They've become rare, and now I wish that I had one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know they were in game for, I don't know, a couple of weeks back. I was just in the anomaly for one lap. Lost my mind. Kept spamming join group. I eventually gave in. It's like, please, I will trade you anything for this ship.
Yeah, it was the same when with the squid ships, you know, like when the squid ships first debuted, everybody was flying around in a squid ship. They were like everywhere, and so I was like, I wasn't impressed by squid ships. But now you don't see that many squid ships flying around, so you know people are much more impressed by them. Okay. I'm gonna go AFK for just a moment, and I'll be back in like, I don't know, a couple of minutes.